Hey, welcome to day 3. I am so excited about today's training. We're going to get super nerdy and we're going to do some math. Sounds amazing, right? I'm going to show you how to create a profitable year and how to mind your money so you can have that CEO identity, because when we ignore our money and we don't know where we're going and how we're going to get there, our business is just kind of flailing. So here's what we're going to do. Okay, we have to have our workbook open because I want you to get the link here. So as you can see, as I drag my mouse over this spreadsheet, it changes because it's hyperlinked, because I just gave you an amazing handy dandy spreadsheet. I'm all about the spreadsheets, and we're gonna work really intensely in here. I'm gonna show you how to do everything. Don't get frustrated or overwhelmed. It's all here for you. Don't freak out. I'm gonna show you exactly how to do this. It's super easy, okay? But before we dig into the actual spreadsheet, we're going to be inputting some numbers because we need numbers to put into our spreadsheet, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So the first question is, I want you to set your income goal for the year. So I don't care what day it is. I don't care if it's January, August, whatever. I just want you to get a feel for how this is gonna work for you, okay? Don't put this off, just do it now. Set your income goal for the year. So for example, let's say your income goal for the year was $50,000. Or we can make it even, let's do 100. I want you to write that down in your workbook because you're going to need these numbers as you work through the sheets. And then you're going to break down your yearly goal into quarterly goals. There's 4 quarters in the year, right? So we're going to break it down, and you can just do an even split. As you go through your business, you're going to notice you might have some patterns, some quarterly patterns. You might see like a really high Q1 and then a little bit lower 2 and 3, and then Q4 might spike. That's kind of my business patterns. Q1 and Q4 are my biggest months. But just for sake of learning this method, just give it an even split. So do 25 down each quarter. So write those in, okay? And you can use something like pdffiller.com if you don't have a printer, or just put it in a notebook. Okay, so now we're going to be looking at our pricing levels. You're like, what are you talking about? This is your one-on-one pricing. You're a coach. You work with people one-on-one, and you will be. So you need to know how much you're going to price your packages. And I suggest to all my students and clients to have 3 different levels. So if your first level, let's say it's a 2K package, your second level is 4.5, and your third level is 7. I want you to write those in here because we're going to need those numbers. And then you're going to have a signature program, because when you're a Stand Out Coaching Academy student and you evolve out of working with clients on a one-on-one basis and you decide to create your signature group program, which is how you scale, you need to have a good price on your program. We're not launching a $197 program or a $497 program. We're going to launch a $997 program because you deserve to be paid $1,000 for your signature program. So get that in your head now because you deserve it. Your step 4 number is going to be $997. I should just have that imprinted in there and you shouldn't even be able to change it. Okay, so that's all you're doing with the workbook now. Now you're going to go over to the spreadsheet that I created for you. So I'm just going to clear out these windows. This was from training day 2. And we're going to start on, if you see on the bottom here, there's a few different sheets here for you. Now, if you see this, and if you can't, you need to get your eyes checked because I made a lot of them. Attention, please go to File, and click up here. You're going to go to File, Make a Copy, and create this on your own Google Drive. Do not come in here and start messing around with this spreadsheet. You can't. Don't request access. You can't have it. You need to make a copy so you can save it on your own thing, okay? So that's over and done with. Then you can delete my crazy block here, but then you're going to come over here and you're going to start working, okay? So you have your step 1. You already filled it in on your workbook. Put your yearly income goal in B2. And we already have it filled in for you. But let's say you had a $10,000 goal. $10,000. Cool. You can leave it though. You can put whatever you want in there. We're going to do 100,000. Okay. Step 2. Break down your yearly goal into quarterly goals. So we already did that, 25, 25, 25. But like I said before, sometimes Q1 is pretty big, or it's always bigger. And then sometimes my Q2s are lower, and then it gets a little higher. And then we might just maybe flatline at 15 again, okay? You can see that your goal needs to match. So we need to add $25,000 to our goals here. So what if we had like a $20,000 Q2 goal? We're up to 85 now. It's doing the math for us. And we did a $20,000 Q3. Now we need $10,000 more dollars. We can do, going to have an amazing Q4. Now your quarterly goals matched your income goal. Okay, so when you change this, this changes. Okay? See that? Awesome. Okay, so this is just where you're plugging in your numbers. You're plugging it in here and you're plugging it in here. You don't need to mess around with any of these formulas because they are good to go. And don't worry about all this. This plugs in as you go. So don't, it's all good. Okay, so then you're going to move on to the next sheet. You're going to move on to the 2 core offerings. And this is your one-on-one and your signature program. And like we talked about before, your one-on-one client work, you should have 3 different levels for them to choose. So when you're on a discovery call with a client, a potential client, and they ask you how much the investment is, you can say, well, I have these 3 different levels. We teach you how to do all of that inside Stand-Up Coaching Academy. So for example, you have a 2 and a 4 and a 6. Or you can do 4.5 or 7. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. You just need to plug in the number so you can see what this will do for you. And then we rounded this up to 1,000 just to make it even. Now these numbers are important to have in here because they affect the rest of the sheet. So plug them in and move on to planning. Okay? Now as you can see, your goals right here match what's right here. So you don't have to keep referring back to find information. Whatever you put in on this sheet, it's going to pop up on the planning. So then we're up to step 5. Plug in scenarios to hit income goals for each quarter. Okay? Scenarios. Your year is not going to go this way. It could be better. It could not be as much as on here. It doesn't matter. But we need to have something to work off of because we need goals. We need to have those I am statements. So if you have, for example, this is perfect. You put 4 clients down here in your scenario. So every day I want you to sit at your desk and I want you to write in, I am grateful for my 4 new clients for quarter 1. I am grateful for the $16,000 I brought in with my 4 new clients. And I want you to say that every single day. We can't put anything out into the universe if we don't know what the heck we're talking about, okay? This is like realistic manifesting. You are going to just plug in random things. So if your coaching packages, if you have your 2, 4, and 6 and a 1,000, that's all down here. Again, you don't need to refer back. Once you plug it in, it's all on here. So you can see your quarters, you can see your pricing. So you can be like, well, maybe I'll bring in a level 3 client and she'll pay me $6,000. And you're just going to do the math until your number matches up to the goal. So if your goal for quarter 1 is 35,000 right here, see how they match? How are you going to make that 35,000? You could bring in, let's see, what if we brought in 4 $6,000 clients? That doesn't match up to $35,000, does it? So this is what happens when you do that. Let me show you. Oops. So your number's at 24,000. You're like, no, $35,000 is what I'm going to hit in quarter 1. So then it's obvious to you that you need to make some more money. So what you need to do is probably have a launch. So you're going to need to launch your signature group program. Now, how much money do you need to make that happen? You're going to need to have an $11,000 launch. So you can hit that $35,000 goal. On this one, on quarter 2, it looks like you can be a little bit lenient. You don't need to maybe have a launch. You can take it off, and maybe you can have a $6,000 client instead. And here, right? So you see my numbers are adding. And then on Q3, you're like, okay, well, I'm going to need to probably do that again, have a couple sixes. And then I'll probably launch again in Q4 because I need to have a $25,000 goal. And I already put in that I'm going to have a $22,000 launch. So what if I have 6,000 here? And what if I change my launch goal to 15,000? And then I decided to do not as many clients. Like, you can just play around with it and see what happens with your numbers, okay? You can say, oh, I only want 2 clients for Q4. So I'm just going to grab 2 clients. I'm going to do a $15,000 launch. Boom, I can hit all my numbers. I can see where I'm going. I can see what I will be putting in my gratitude journal because I know how many clients I will be having. I know my launches will be this much. I have complete faith and trust it's happened, and I'm grateful for it. And then you're going to take all that stuff that you just mumbled up in your head, all these goals that you have, and then you're going to completely detach from it because it doesn't mean anything. It's so fun to hear, right? After you've done all this work, it doesn't mean anything. Because guess what? You might go into Q2 and 1 client works with you. And you know what? It's going to be amazing because only 1 client decided to work with you in Q2 for a reason. You might not feel that way at the time, but when you make the decision to detach from any outcome, that puts you in a whole new space, my friend. When you decide and stop the pressure and the stress about the numbers and the clients and the launches, bigger things are out there for you. There's so many bigger things coming for you. Sometimes I'll have a launch that doesn't go as well, and I get into that, what the heck happened? I don't know, and then all of a sudden, because I still hold that gratitude mentality, all of a sudden another opportunity is presented that I wouldn't have had time for if I would have had a bigger launch, or something amazing happens with my family, and so I'm so glad that I don't have to have a bunch of time tied down with clients or students or whatever it might be. Everything happens for a reason. This stuff is great because we can be grateful for all of it ahead of time. But if it doesn't happen, the universe, God, they don't work on quarters. They don't care if it's Q3. It's going to provide to you what you need when you need it, okay? God doesn't have, it's Q3. I need to make sure everybody meets their Q3 goals. That's not how God works, okay? So this is great to have. This gives you a big bird's eye view of what's possible for you. Now, when you have a big goal like $100,000, you can see that $100,000 sounds kind of scary. But when you break it down, it's not so bad. And that makes you feel good. And when you feel good, you feel positive. And when you feel positive, positive things happen to you. See where I'm going? Okay. So then this kind of brings in your goals here. Again, you can see the formulas that I put in up at the top. If there's a formula there, leave it alone. Q1 goals, Q2 goal. This should be, actually, this isn't right. So Q2 goal, we're going to fix this live here. Cool. And then we got our Q3 goal and Q4. Now you can see that there's some income in here, but where did that come from? It came in from here. This is the exact income tracker that I use in my business every single week, and I am sharing it with you guys. So as you grow, this sheet's going to be huge. You're going to have lots of expenses and lots of income, and it's pretty small now. So to add in fields, you're just going to go to insert item above and insert above just to add more space for you, okay? So this is where you're going to be listing your expenses. This is where you're going to be listing your income. Here's January, for example. We made $50 in January. Wonderful. So we made $50. Now, if you can see over here, that $50 is tracked right here. So let's say we made Somebody decided to pay us $35,000 for some client work. Cool. Look at, we're just about at our goal, because what this does is it takes our income minus our expenses. So let's say we didn't have any expenses for some reason. We can see that we're good. We zeroed our goal out. We didn't make $35,000 should be down here. Silly me. So sorry. We're going to zero this out. Okay. Now we're matching. So let's say in February we spent $10,000 on Facebook ads and we had $50,000 come in. We can see what you have to do to get the Q2. Well, you can also do another sheet as well. So you can see the formula for this one is the income tracker for C19. So that would just kind of be right here. Okay. So if I drag this over here, those numbers will pop up. Okay. I'm going like this. And you can change the colors too. You can do this however you want, and it will all work out perfectly. You just need to look at the formulas, and then you can drag the handle over, and then it'll put the formulas in there for you. But I don't want to mess this up, so I'm just going to leave it. You'll definitely be able to figure it out, and if you can't, just reach out and I can help you fix it. So anyways, as you plug in all of your expenses, your income, it's going to give you kind of a live view on how your business is doing. And you can even do like a yearly. I have a yearly on here as well. So you can see like your total expenses are over here. And then, so let's say you just had, you were like always spending $10,000 a month. And fill this in here and here. $100,000 in expenses for the year. And then you have some income. We can just do like this. And then we made $1 million in income. It's going to subtract our expenses and give us our net right here. It looks overwhelming, but once you start plugging in and just doing it yourself, you're going to see that it's actually really easy. And it's really fun. I want you to commit to using 1 day a week to work in your money tracker, in your income tracker. Every single Monday for me is Money Monday. I come in, I go into my account, I see all the expenses that have been taken out, I put them in the appropriate month, and then the last week of the month, I go and put in all my income, and then I can see where I am at for the year, for the quarter, for the month. You can do this any way you want. I just wanted to give you a really solid foundation that's going to be easy for you to see not only where you're going, but where you are. Okay? All right. So this is the end of day 3. I have something really fun, exciting. So please watch your inbox because I have a huge announcement for you. I want to be sure that I can help you take all of the stuff that you just did the past 2 days and up level yourself into a coach who's actually putting lots of income into her spreadsheet, who's tracking everything, who's working with clients, doing her signature program like an amazing course creator. I can help you do all of that stuff. So keep an eye on your inbox. Something amazing is coming to you. Thank you so much for watching today. And if you have any questions with anything that I just showed you, please reach out. Come to thedreamclientcommunity.com. I can help you, and I'm excited for you to get all nerdy up in the spreadsheet because it's going to be amazing for you. And I will see you in your inbox very soon.